Most times by now, wild card games I would wait till Thursday, but as many of you know, I'm going on vacation. So we're going to do it tonight. And I have two guests with me. First, he is the host of The Last Call. He is my Bill Money tag team partner, Captain Ron. Captain, how you doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing great, considering I just sat here and watched the Blues decimate the Blackhawks in the Winter Classic. Yeah, but
decimated. For a stop before, it wasn't decimated.
Congratulations to the Blues.
It was 4-1.
Oh, damn. Looks like I'll be getting some money from that game because I have the Blues winning, so thank you for telling me that. And, of course, joining us, he's been one of the people who... How can I say this? It doesn't like me too much because I've made fun of his Dolphins most of this year, but they have made the playoffs, and I can admit I was wrong about him. It is Mr. Clock, who hopefully he doesn't have his nightstick with him because I don't want to get beat up. I'm not Nails.
What?
Look, just know that you're wrong about my Dolphins.
I was wrong about your Dolphins, and I am correct on that. I was very wrong, and I can admit that.
Hey, hold on. Ron, say you're wrong about Dolphins, too.
I picked the Dolphins. What are you talking about?
Okay, never mind, man.
Yeah, it's me he's probably going to hate, maybe. But before we get to the stuff we got to talk about for this week, let's go over last week's games in case somebody slept through them or went into a coma. The Eagles beat the Cowboys. Ravens lost to the Bengals. Texans lost to the Titans, and the Texans now have no quarterback again. Buccaneers at least ended their season on a high note, winning their last game. Colts beat the Jaguars, maybe saving their coach's job. Patriots beat the Dolphins, but the biggest question is Tannehill coming back for this wild card game for the Dolphins? The Vikings beat the Bears pretty soundly. The Bills might be the worst team in NFL history this year after the way they lost. Steelers backups, Bills. There's a reason why I say the Bills. No, there's a reason why I say the Bills, and I'll discuss that in a minute. Steelers beat the Browns. Falcons beat the Saints. Redskins lost their playoff chance. Cardinals beat the Rams. Raiders lost to the Broncos. Chiefs are now the number 2 seed thanks to their win over the Chargers. Seahawks beat the Niners. And, of course, the Packers beat the Lions. Now, the reason I say the Bills are the worst team, particularly after last week, did you two watch the Bills and Jets game? I'm going to take that as a no. They gave up a touchdown that was so easy that I think my dead grandmother probably would have been able to get the touchdown. Jets kick the ball to them on a kick return. Jets got 3 points. They kick it to them. The Bills not only let the ball hop into the end zone, none of the Bills players recovered it until there was like 5 Jets players on the ball giving the Jets a touchdown, making it 30-3. When you can't even recover a kick on a kick return, you are a failure and don't deserve to have a job. I mean, at least the Browns showed up this past week. Bills, I'm sorry, none of you showed up. It pretty much felt like you guys decided to just stay home and let the cheerleaders play. Oh, wait a minute, the cheerleaders probably would have got more points. I mean, so Bills, congratulations, you're probably the worst team this year after that to perform. At least the Browns, I can understand why they were bad. Bills had no excuse for giving up that easy touchdown. I'm just saying.
In the morning.
All right, moving on to some news. For the notes this week, the Browns won the first pick in the draft. The 49ers get the number 2 pick. Gary Kubich, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, I know Captain Ron would say that.
Kubiak.
Thank you. We know English is not that good for me. That's why I don't do promos. Stepped down as head coach due to health reasons. So, so it is kind of sad. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It is unfortunate. We'll see if he comes back in a few years once his health is better. The 49ers, and this shocked nobody, fired their head coach Chip Kelly and general manager Trent B. Sunday. Chip Kelly once again proving that maybe he should go back to college. The Chargers also fired their head coach Mike McCoy. He was 28-38 overall, including a 1-1 in the team's last playoff run in 2013. And I can't believe I got to talk about the Minnesota Vikings right now. Sam Bradford set the NFL season single record for the highest percent of his passes completed. He completed 71.6 of his passes. The previous record was held by Drew Brees, which that kind of is sad. And here are the times for the wildcard games in case anybody needs to know. Raiders and Texans will play Saturday at 4:35 p.m. on ESPN or ABC. At 8:15 that night, it would be the Lions at Seahawks. On Sunday, at 1:05 on CBS, it would be the Dolphins versus the Steelers. And at 4:40 on Fox, it would be the Giants versus the Packers. Now, question of the video, guys. Of the teams looking for a new head coach right now, which is the best job available? You got San Francisco, Denver, Jacksonville, San Diego, Rams. So who's the best job available right now?
Go ahead, Ron.
I think Captain On's thinking too, because that's a...
Ask me the question again.
Of the teams looking for a new head coach, which is the best job?
The best job?
Yeah, in better words, if you got to pick out of the teams that are looking for a head coach, where would you want to be right now? You got Broncos, you got the Bills, you got the Niners, Chargers.
I'm picking Rams.
You're picking the Rams.
Picking the Rams because you have a rookie quarterback that you can mold yourself. If you have a good coach, because you have a future franchise quarterback in the Rams. If you get a good coach that can do quarterbacks, you'd be great. On top of that, you got the Chargers who has a veteran quarterback in Phillip Rivers. All you need is a rookie quarterback. You can get in third and fourth round on that one. You also have the Bills. Bills is the worst job. You don't want the Bills job. That's the worst job you can do.
That's the worst. Captain Ron, since you're back, the question is, of the coaching jobs available right now for head coach, which is the best job? So you got Denver, Bills.
And I never thought I honestly say this, but it would honestly be the Rams. I think
wow.
Jared Goff can get a little more potential. He will definitely deliver. But if you can get Todd Gurley back on his A game, you get a coach in there that knows how to actually work them. That team can indeed run the West in maybe a year or two from now. But if you're going to keep this team in LA and build them a $1 billion stadium, you better get a coach in there with some balls, which is something Jeff Fisher apparently lacked in his tenure.
Jeff Fisher didn't like that. No, Jeff Fisher didn't like that. Jeff Fisher didn't want to change. That's the problem with him. He didn't want to change anything.
Well, I'm actually going to go different here. I'm actually going to go to Captain Ron's old stomping grounds. I'm going to say the Broncos. Why, yes, the quarterback situation's probably not ideal. They still got a decent defense. And if you can figure out the quarterback issue, I think you'll be fine. As far as for the worst team, I'm saying San Francisco. Because you don't know if the owner will fire you after the first season. Since now they've fired the coach in back-to-back seasons, so that's not the job I would want. I would rather go live in Alaska.
The job the job you want as a head coach would be the Rams. I mean, like I said, you already have everything right there. The Chargers, you still have a lot. Chargers, you have too many veterans. You have too many veteran players.
Oh, I agree. I still say the worst will be San Francisco. I'm sure somebody in the comments, a.k.a. Mr. David Goodrich. Yeah, I think that's the worst one to me. That's the worst one because you can't trust the ownership.
That's mediocre. I mean,
obviously, Harbaugh was like living proof of that with the Niners. I mean, you literally get rid of a head coach that actually sits there and puts butts in the seats and gets your team to the Super Bowl, and you say, nope, sorry, thanks for playing, but we're going to bring in this douchebag Chip Kelly. And how good was he?
He got fired. I think that says it, right? He got fired yesterday after the loss. So I know what the funny thing is. I like to say this right now. Anyone who's watched this or listened to the last call, which is the TLC network, that's Captain On's show. I actually told people San Francisco would be the worst team in the NFC, and Chip Kelly would probably not make it. I feel vindicated by this. Because I had so many people tell me I was wrong. So, on you all for that one. Now, of course, before we get to the picks, we do have some awards to hand out. You guys can chime in as well if you got any awards you want to hand out for these categories. MVP. My MVP? Oh, and Captain Ron's having internet issues. Does that stink? Anyway. MVP, my MVP for this year is Matt Ryan. I'm sure everyone's shocked that it's not somebody from the Cowboys, but I got to give it to Matt Ryan. He's had the best offense to work with, and it'll be interesting to see if Matt Ryan can continue this luck into the playoffs. Clark, who is your MVP for this year?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Derek Carr, I would love to see him get it, but I think the injury is going to screw him over. Captain Ron?
The injury screwed him over. If I had to be another, it'd be Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan should get the comeback player here too.
I agree. Captain Ron, who's your MVP for this season?
MVP for this season without questions between two guys, Prescott and Elliott. I think Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott have been beyond phenomenal for that organization, despite the homers and despite the fact of who they play for. But the fact that Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott was pretty much given the ball and said, do what you do, and pretty much guided this team to a 13-2 season. I'm not even counting the last game because, quite frankly, Tony Romo and Mark Dirty Sanchez just really did not cut the mustard on it. And the fact is
Mark Sanchez was terrible.
Mark Sanchez did worse than Mariah Carey on New Year's Eve, for crying out loud.
Oh
no.
No, ouch, that hurt. No comment. All right, who's the head coach of the year? I'm actually going to go with the Oakland Raiders, Jack Del Rio. He is my head coach of the year. He actually got the Raiders to the playoffs for the first time in a decade. So Jack Del Rio should get it by all accounts in my book. So Jack Del Rio's coach of the year for me. What about you guys?
Adam Gans.
Adam Gans, all right.
Agreed.
Come on now, really? He brought my.
I know.
Miami Dolphins are in the playoffs.
I had a feeling that's who he was going to go with.
I'm going with him on this one.
I can't argue that because, he got him into the playoffs, so I can't argue that. A rookie head coach. He is a rookie head coach.
He started out 1-4.
And then you guys ran the table. Most disappointing team this year. Now, this is not based on record per se. So Cleveland could be an answer, but I don't think anyone's going to pick Cleveland. This is a team you would have thought would have been in the playoffs, but for whatever reason did not make it. My vote is going to Carolina. Carolina Panthers. Denver Broncos. So pretty much we're all saying if the two teams who won the Super Bowl disappointed everybody. I agree with that.
I got one more.
Okay, who's the other one?
I got one more that surprised me. The Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals. Wow, yeah, that was surprising. I would say Arizona was too, because a lot of people, and I'm the first one to say this, I had Arizona in the Super Bowl this year. So, yeah, a lot of teams disappointed, but Carolina, Arizona, Bengals, Denver, pretty much the ones I think everyone would say. And the last award is this. Team with the brightest future. Now, for this award, it has to be a team that missed the playoffs, but not by much. So they were like the 7th through 10th seed. Almost made it, but missed, lost by one game or something. So, who is the team that has the best future going forward who did not make the playoffs?
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans?
Titans. I mean, if it honestly wasn't for
the
I'll tell
injury.
you what it was. No, it's not even an injury. It's not even that. The thing about it is just, like I said, I'm down here, so I have to catch every single damn game there is. But it's not even that. Mariota is spotty. Mariota, he's either good one game, and that's it, and he'll be good one game, bad 2 games. You're not going to have him all, and then DeMarco Murray has to have surgery at the end of the season because he's been playing with a torn on his foot since last year. So he wasn't even at 100% when he started playing this year.
I will say, though, he did have a better year this year than he did with Philly, so I would definitely give him that. My pick is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I think, kind of shocked everyone how good they did when going 8-8, but I think a lot of people are shocked by that. If they can improve a little bit on the offense, because their defense was all right, but it's the offense I have problems with for them. If the offense can improve, I could see them making the playoffs next year. So
Would you be shocked if I said Jameis Winston is better than Marcus Mariota?
No, I wouldn't. I think a lot of people believe that, and judging how each two have done during the first 2 years of their career, I'd have to agree with you. And that's mostly because, and this is just my opinion, and anyone in Tennessee, if you don't like this, you can shove it. Tennessee's in an easier division to me. They're in a division that you can win it as a 9-7 or an 8-8. Tampa Bay is in a tougher division.
Are you serious? Did you not just see the Rams? Are you serious? Hold on. First off, real quick. Tennessee is the worst conference in the NFL right now. But the past 2 years, the conference goes to the Rams, goes to the Cardinals, 49ers, and Seahawks.
Yeah, I would agree. But looking right now, I'd say because of how bad that division did this year, and I think I know, and you know why I say it when we get to the game starting in picks in a few minutes, just because no one's going to have any of those 4 teams winning the Super Bowl this year or next year. Speaking of that, time to get to the picks, and we start off with the Oakland Raiders traveling to the Houston Texans. The Raiders are 12-4, and they are 6-2 on the road. Texans are 9-7, but they have won 7 of their 9 games at home and only lost 1 home game. So, which team are you taking? Are you taking the Raiders with the backup quarterback, or are you taking the Texans, who we don't know who the starting quarterback's going to be yet?
It's going to be Bruce Oswald.
So it's Mr. Brock again.
Yeah, Savage had a concussion yesterday.
Okay, so Savage will be out for at least this week. That makes it interesting then, because Brock did okay, but not enough to make me think he can win this game. I'm going with Oakland. Even though they got quarterback issue right now, they got all their pieces together for me at least to say they can win this. If they lose this game, though, that might be the biggest shocker of the playoffs. If they lose it,
I'm gonna take Oakland. I think that I really still to this moment don't trust Houston. I don't trust that spotty offense. Their defense isn't as good as it used to be. And plus, we're talking about a guy who's making $100 million plus, and he still sucks. He's just downright atrocious. So there is nothing in me that's going to sit there and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go with this guy. No, I'm taking Oakland, no matter what the circumstances, as far as basically their quarterback situation. I think that they'll still do enough to escape Houston with the win, and then end up going up against the Patriots when it's all said and done.
All right, so we got 2 for the Raiders, Mr. Clark.
You know what? Raiders.
3 for the Raiders. I'm not surprised by this. I had a feeling when I wrote these games down that we were going to pick the Raiders, and I'll give Houston this. You made the playoffs, congratulations, but like Captain On said, Brock is getting paid a lot of money to suck. So it gives people like me hope for the future, knowing that if I ever need a job that I can suck at and make a lot of money, he's the exhibit A that you can actually use. Moving on to the other AFC game, it is the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, of course, they played against each other earlier this year, which I believe the Dolphins won, because I never heard the end of it for Mr. Clark, correct?
Oh, you'll never hear the end of it, sir.
I would never hear the end of it. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to live that down, unfortunately. Steelers do have the home at home, though, but I should point this out. Steelers are 6-2 at home. Dolphins are 4-4 on the road. So, kind of even matchup there. But the biggest question is Ryan Tannehill playing? Mr. Clark, I know you got the Dolphins, so is he playing?
Yeah, he'll play.
He'll play, okay. So we already know Clark's picking the Dolphins.
They're debating.
They're debating
whether he should play or not.
Okay.
But I mean, right now, I mean, it's like I said, it's Monday, so it's too short to tell. But as of right now, he's playing.
All right.
But it might change shit. It might change Friday. It might wait till Friday. Friday it'll change. If it's Tannehill, I'm sorry. You're looking more of a loss with Tannehill. If you saw the game the Dolphins played, the tempo is better when Matt Moore's in. You feel like you feel like people are more excited to play, and everyone's more ready. But I mean, I'm gonna pick my Dolphins through and through.
Oh yeah,
I feel like even if we do lose, I mean, the season we started 1-4.
Oh yeah.
So I figured if we come out with a loss, if we do lose against Steelers, if we do, I feel like that either way we come out with a loss. We come out with a win.
Yeah, before Catron makes his pick, I will say this: win or lose, Dolphins, you got my respect. You've earned it. I know Catron's having internet issues, and I apologize for that. Let's blame New Mexico, correct? I'm going to be honest here. This was my hardest pick for me because the Tannehill situation, Steelers backups did not impress me, which makes me worried that if any of them get injured, the starters, the Dolphins could steal this game. I know Dolphins won the last time they met, so Steelers want payback. It literally came down to me is who do I have more faith in as a quarterback? If Tannehill is playing, I'm going to regret this pick, because then I think I'm going to get screwed over. Andrew goes to test. He knows this history from the last few years. Every time I've picked the Steelers to win in the playoffs, they have lost. So this will make my clock, may make you happy, as I am picking the Steelers. Now, point, like I just said, the last 2 times I picked the Steelers in the playoffs, they have both lost those games. So, clock, I probably just upped your Miami Dolphins' chances of winning from 50% to 99.99%. So,
I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean,
but
Steelers have been my curse the last few years. Like, every time I pick them to win, they lose. So, Captain Ron?
Have you not learned anything from how Pittsburgh has played this year?
Probably not, no.
Okay, let's be as real as possible. This is the exact same Pittsburgh team. Now, bear in mind, this may have been good when Ben was younger, but Ben's getting up there in age. He can't just rely on Antonio Brown to save him every single time.
But that's what he's doing.
He's out there. That's pretty much what's happening. And that's like the harsh reality of it. Is that is exactly what he's doing. It's going to come back and bite him in the ass. This is why I'm gonna throw a curveball. I'm picking an upset. Because quite frankly, I don't trust Pittsburgh. I mean, even with their team out there, they still flat out was terrible. They were terrible all season. They were terrible in their own division, and to top it all off, now you turn around and you go, oh wait, we have to play Miami, Miami has been without a doubt besides the New England game, the hottest team in the AFC. And I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to say Miami is going to beat Pittsburgh, and then that's going to be all she wrote. There ain't going to be any more whining and crying out of Schittsburg whatsoever. So Schittsburg, sit and spin on it. Miami is going to actually beat you guys in your own backyard.
All right, so two for Miami, 1 for Pittsburgh, and I'm not surprised you guys picked Miami because If I knew Tannehill was playing, I probably would pick Miami, but because I won't know that information because I'll be on vacation, I had to go with what I know.
You can't go Matt Moore versus Tom Brady. There's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I mean, look, I don't trust Matt Moore. That's I'm honest.
And that I understand. Look, that I understand. I'm a huge Dolphins fan, but I know damn well. I know damn well that Matt Moore, you're not going to put Matt Moore against Tom Brady and pick Matt Moore or Tom Brady any damn day.
Yeah. All right, so the AFC...
With you saying that, hold on. I ain't trying to change your mind or nothing.
I know.
But Ryan Tannehill versus Tom Brady, Ryan Tannehill has only beat him once. In the 5 years he's been there, he's only beat him once.
Good to note. That helps everyone who's listening. That helps everyone who's listening who hasn't made a pick yet, because I know there's some who, and unfortunately, I can't believe I'm saying this, is one of my subscribers who actually picks the same teams I pick. Do yourself a favor. If you're thinking Miami's winning, listen to Captain Ron and Clark, because I actually have out of the 4 games, the Steelers and Dolphins is the one I'm worried about. That's the only pick I was worried about. So if I lose that one, hey, I can admit, Dolphins, you deserve that freaking win, and then you can beat whoever's in the next round if it's Patriots. If it's Kansas City, we'll see. Moving to the
That's
NFC.
the problem right there.
I like Kansas City. I think Alex Smith is underrated, and he gets pissed on by a lot of the fans. But that's another story for next week. We head to Seattle, which I'm sure Captain Ron's going to love this. It is the Lions at Seattle. Seattle is 10-5-1. They are 7-1 at home. Lions limping into the playoffs after they lost to Green Bay, but because the Redskins choked, Lions got in. They are 3-5 on the road. I'm taking Seattle here. I have Detroit. I was worried about even before this game. Detroit has no running game to me. Out of all the teams in the playoffs, they probably got the worst running game situation, period. I'm taking Seattle. They rarely lose at home. They've only lost at home once this year. I think Seattle wins this game pretty easily.
I got Lions.
Wow. Ooh, why is that, Clark? Why do you got the Lions, if I may ask? Why do you got
I'm
the
picking
Lions?
upset.
Oh, you're taking the
That's
all
my
right.
upset.
That's your
My
upset
upset of
pick.
the century.
Wow.
May I remind you that the last time there was a huge upset, it was the Seahawks versus the Saints.
Yes, that's right, correct. Saints won that
You
game.
never know.
All right, so,
No. The Seahawks won that game.
oh,
They
that's
won
right.
off Marshawn Lynch, remember? They won
Oh,
off
yeah, that's
Marshawn
right.
Lynch.
That's
So, hey, I'm saying this. Basically, the Lions had nothing to lose.
all right. So we got 1-1, and I that is a good upset pick. I gotta admit, if that happens, I'll tip my hat to you. Captain Ron.
Seattle, the most flip-floppy, 50-50 team pretty much out of these entire process. This is not a knock against Detroit, because Detroit has a good team. And the 12th man, it used to be to the point where if you go into the 12th man, only Seattle comes out alive.
Now that's bullshit.
It's kind of like if you want to go face the Seahawks and see Seahawks and 12th man the way they've been playing so far this season, knock yourself out. You just might come out of there with a win. So I think I'm gonna actually go with Clark on this one. I think I'm actually gonna pick Detroit. I think Detroit actually had themselves a good showing, but I think the games against Dallas and Green Bay kind of killed it for them. But they still have at least a good, decent chance to actually do something about it. They got a chance to right the ship. They're going to do it against the Seahawks, a Seahawks team that is not the same Seahawks domination team that they have.
All right, so again, I find it funny, the only one we agreed upon so far is the Raiders and Texans. That makes me laugh. The final game, which I'm hoping we all agree upon on here, is the red-hot Green Bay Packers taking on Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Now, of course, I already know my buddy Brandon's taking the Giants, but he ain't here for the pick show, so his opinion. Packers are 6-2 at home. Giants are 4-4 on the road. Aaron Rodgers did what he said, guys. He ran the table. Packers got into the playoffs. Giants kind of limped their way in here, in my opinion. So,
Do we go get meat real quick?
Captain On, who do you have? Oh, Clark, whichever one wants to start.
I don't care who.
It's Packers and Giants, and he's like, I don't care. Fuck him.
That's fine. Just throw it out.
Yeah, that's understandable. Captain Ron, what about you, though? Because I know you've been hating on the Giants a lot this year.
And I'm going to continue hating on the Giants a lot, because it's the New York Giants. It's the midgets of the NFC. It's these clowns that come out of nowhere to sit here and expect everything to be handed to them on a silver platter, and they don't even sit here and do anything to actually earn it. I mean, the only reason they're in the playoffs is because apparently all the other teams in the playoffs just flat out suck so badly that they just had to just get in there and squeak right in. And plus, they needed help. They needed help to get in there, even after losing to the Eagles. Going into Green Bay with the Packers and the way Aaron Rodgers is doing right now, I don't think so, Scooter. Not going to happen. Packers win this one without question.
And I am agreeing with you, Captain On. I had the Packers, and I'm going to say this was the easiest game I had to pick. It only took me like 5 seconds to make this pick when I saw what time it was when it was at Green Bay. I'm like, Green Bay and Giants? Green Bay. Moving on. I'm sorry, the Giants... ever since that game against Dallas where they beat them the second time, they have fallen off the wagon. They went...
So I guess you don't want my pick.
Oh, well, you said you didn't care, but if you want your pick, who do you have then? Packers or Giants? Oh, my God. I gotta hear this.
I got no problem telling you.
I mean, I have no disrespect to Eli Manning. He's got 2 rings, but...
the 2 rings. The last 2 times they're in the playoffs, they were what, the number 6 seed?
About 5 seed, 6 seed, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
And what happened?
They won the Super Bowl those 2 years, beating the Patriots.
Okay, but again, so let me ask you again. The last time they said they ain't gonna beat the Packers, they beat the Packers the last time. I'm just saying, I'm just quoting history.
You're going with history on this one, that the Giants' history from the past will beat the Packers again. I I can respect that. That's a good reason. I can respect that reason.
I mean, you have each. I mean, like you said with the Steelers though, but he can't always rely on O.J. Beckham.
Odell Beckham.
He can't, but he does, and he wins just like the Steelers do with, So it goes both ways. But again, I just have a feeling that everyone is putting the Giants on, overlooking them.
Well, we'll see if that is true come Sunday, because I believe that is the Sunday game, like I said earlier. So just as a recap, I have Raiders, Seahawks, Steelers, and Packers. Captain Ron has Raiders, Dolphins, Packers, and you had the Seahawks, I believe, correct, Captain Ron, or did you have the Lions?
I'm taking the Lions.
He had the Lions, okay. And Clark had the Raiders, but then he had the Lions, Dolphins, and Giants. So either one of two things is going to happen. Either both of you will either be 4-0, and I will only have one win, or I'll be the one who's 4-0. Because no one's going to end up being 2-2. So we shall see, and I'm sure Captain Ron's like, oh, please let Doug start out bad, please.
Well, you did pick Pittsburgh, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure buddy Andrew's like, Doug, why did you do that? Why? So that's the picture, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. I'd like to thank Mr. Clark and Captain Ron for joining me. I hope you guys enjoy the games this week.
I will.
Of course, I will be back next week, guys, doing another of the divisional round next week after I make my return for my video convention that I'm going to this week. So, for myself, Clark, and Captain Ron, this is DOUG saying have a good night. Enjoy the wildcard games if your team are playing this week. Good luck to all of them. And if your team's on the couch, well, that's where you got Madden and NFL Blitz for. See you next week.